Which place is the worst to buy a house? I'm talking about the developed world. A place where people can't afford groceries, self-hygiene products, where millions of kids sleep on floors or share beds with parents, where medical professionals are almost always on strike, where the cost of living crisis is so bad that it can cause premature deaths. No prizes for guessing, it's the United Kingdom. England has become the worst place to find a home. I'm not the one saying that, it's this report by the Home Builders Federation. Let me read out what it says. The UK is a very unaffordable place to buy or rent a home, and increasingly so. You see, house prices in the UK have been growing faster than incomes. British people spend exceptionally high proportions of their post-tax income on housing. England has far fewer dwellings relative to its population than others. The UK also has among the oldest housing in Europe. I'm quoting the report word for word. This is the condition of housing in the UK. This is the UK's housing crisis. Let's take a look at some figures now. As I just told you, Britons have to spend a fortune to have roofs on their heads. Renters are overburdened by housing costs. 1 in 5 people in England spend more than 40% of their income on housing. That equates to 20% of England's population. This is the second highest proportion in Europe, and more than double the EU average of 8%. England has far fewer dwellings relative to its population. For every 1,000 inhabitants, it has 434 homes. This is significantly fewer than France, which has 590, and Italy at 587. The OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, average stands at 487. For those who don't know, the OECD is a group of 38 nations, including most of the EU, the US, Japan, and Australia. You see, the UK is falling behind its peers. It has very less to offer. House hunting in England is an uphill battle, and if you do find a home, chances are it will be less affordable and of a far lower quality. The share of people living in poor quality housing in the UK is higher than the EU average. And by poor quality, I mean leaking roofs, damp walls, floors or foundation, rotting window frames. About 17.6% of Britons live in such homes. The EU average, meanwhile, stands at 13.2%. A significant portion of British houses were built before 1946. That is over 7 decades ago. The UK also has the lowest number of homes built since 1980. It falls behind Spain, France, Portugal, Greece, Romania, Bulgaria, and Hungary on this front. Meanwhile, no-fault evictions have still not been banned, even though the Conservative Party pledged to do so back in April 2019. A no-fault eviction allows landlords to evict tenants without giving any explicit reason. And this is just adding to the burden of renters. Rents on new tenancies went up 12% in the year to August. This is the highest level in at least 9 years. You see, the housing crisis is just getting worse and worse. Why isn't the government doing anything about it? The construction industry is also frustrated by the government's stop-start approach. Some Tories have acknowledged the need for more building, but some voters are concerned about overdevelopment. Whatever it is, the clock is ticking on the United Kingdom. The old buildings are only going to get older. The population is also bound to grow. The UK's housing needs to keep pace with it. People already have had enough, and they have enough reasons to not live in the Great Britain. And the list keeps growing every single day. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.